You feel it's your duty.
Hi, this is Jay from the J Spot. Welcome to an impromptu version of the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeart Station. I'm sorry, my sidekick, my partner in crime, she had to take off for the holidays because I am Scrooge, so I chose to work a few days before Christmas. Who would have thought that I would be Scrooge? But nevertheless, we are sitting. Look, I'm saying we. Look, y'all, please forgive me. I'm so used to sitting next to my co-host partner in crime, E, but this ain't E right here. This is Johnny. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Good, Johnny. And right next to Johnny, we have Tyree. Tyree, how are you?
I'm well, I'm blessed.
Good. I want you all to tell everybody who you are, how they can get in contact with you, and we can take it from there.
Well, my
Johnny.
name is Johnny. You can follow me on Instagram at Mangled Mogul, and or on Facebook at Mangled Monkey. That's my clothing line and my alias.
Okay. And you, Tyree, sorry.
Well, I tell you, I'm not that active on social media, which is unfortunate in this moment. But when I am on Facebook, you can get me on there at Tyree Kaheem, TYREEKAHEEM, no space, Tyree Kaheem. And then I guess you can follow me on Instagram at MRT Crosby, or not Instagram, Snapchat, if you really want to get freaky. And then that's about it.
You all,
can
they
email
are
me too
brothers.
at the same spot, mrtcrosby@gmail.com.
These young men are brothers, and we are just going to have some random conversation about life. But I kind of want to go a little further with these gentlemen and continue what we talked about on the J Spot last week. And the question we had last week was, should a woman propose to a man? What do you think of Johnny?
Of course not. Of course not. It's tradition to have the male first ask for permission from the father to marry his daughter if he's still living, or even if he's in her life. So that brings in the whole ball of wax as far as how you want to go through the procedures. But as far as having the actual female propose to the male, that's just she's already taking control in the relationship, and that's not going to last. It's not going to work.
What do you think, Tyree? Should a woman propose to a man?
From how I understand it, marriage itself is a religious institution, so it's kind of written out in the Bible how it's supposed to go, or whatever religion you're in. I'm sure almost all the religions have it with the man asking the father. So, I mean, I respect the religions, but if you're not religious, then I don't even know if you should be getting married technically.
Right.
But if that's not the case and y'all just looking to get some type of common law marriage, then different rules apply. So that's kind of my take on it.
Now, for me, Johnny, to kind of piggyback on what you said, my response was, if I ask a man to marry me, I'm going to get him pregnant and he's going to have my baby and take my last name. Now that right there, the fellas didn't really, they didn't really appreciate that statement. But the reason I said that is because if I am, as the woman, am taking the reins of the relationship as to ask you to marry me, then I'm going to run the entire relationship.
Right. Of course. You're taking control, and I feel that the male or the man in the relationship should have dominant control of the relationship. But times have changed. Females are getting more
checks.
Of course, they're getting financially stable way more than males now. So it varies. It depends on the relationship, but still, and it's a love thing too. And I feel if a female propose to a male, then she's a little bit insecure because she doesn't trust that he would eventually propose to her. So it's a lot of things that can happen. That shouldn't even be a question.
Can I piggyback on that insecurity? I think females have a lot of powers, magical creatures. Y'all are able to, y'all don't have to propose to a man. Y'all could induce a proposal
Yeah.
You know,
How would they do
through
that?
Symbolism, through the things that y'all do. I mean, you could sit a little wedding figurine in the bathroom one day. You know, y'all just do little dope stuff that I appreciate.
True,
You know,
true.
poetic stuff. You know, you could rub your finger across his ring finger, you know, during sex, or you know, just
Right.
I mean, it's just things that women can do that can induce a proposal. So, yeah, if a woman is to propose to a male in some type of, I mean, it's a new world. I believe in relationships being defined by the people that's in them. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. But I don't think that a female, if she is to propose, I kind of like your idea. You taking my last name, this, that, and the third. But a female don't have to propose to induce a proposal.
So if a woman proposed to you, would you accept the proposal, Tyree? She got down on one knee.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Baby, would you
I
marry
wouldn't.
me?
Because, I mean, nah, I would prefer to do the proposing in my life.
Okay. What about you, Johnny? If
Of
a
course
woman,
not. Of course not. I would for one it'd be very, very awkward. But I would turn it around and propose to her and try to make it more romantic. But I wouldn't just say, oh yeah, of course, and start crying. No. Me as the man would I'll probably, if she on one knee, I'll grab her hand, pick her up, and then I'll kneel, and then I'll propose. Which would be
I
but
like
what
that
if you
idea.
what if
That's
you
my
not but what
manhood
if you're
back.
not there? What if you would
Then
what if
of
you
course
wouldn't
not.
want to marry her? Right.
So-
What if you
Then no. Of course.
Yeah.
That's what anybody, male, female, whoever's proposing to who, if you don't want to marry that person, you're gonna say no. But that's very rare. Some people say yes in the heat of the moment. We're in the iPhone stage, the camera stage is where there's cameras everywhere. So in the heat of the moment, you might say, you know what? Yeah, I'll marry you. Cry their tears, hug. And then when you go home, like, you know what? I thought about it. I don't think we should get married now. So every proposal that you see online doesn't mean they're married now. They just say yes at that moment.
And honestly, this kind of is close to one of my problems with proposals and marriage and how we think about it as a society. I think you should talk about it in your relationship
Yeah, of course.
before I propose. You could, I'm thinking about proposing. You know, you could put a timeline on it. You could not put a timeline on it. I think that's something that people should talk about because that's a big step for a couple.
Yeah.
Like we should talk about it, and then I could figure out all the sweet stuff and the surprise and all of that. But we could talk about it if we going, just like you should talk about if you're gonna have children. Like we could talk about this. Is we trying to build something? Is we not trying to build something? Like all that surprise. We so commercialized and everything's got to be so fantastical in America, and just our hyper consumerism, like everything got to be so over the top. Like let's be real, like let's talk about it. Like is this gonna work?
So now at what point in the relationship should a couple start talking about marriage? At what point?
Whenever whoever want to
Whenever.
talk about it.
Yeah, whenever. You could start the first day. You can start
And
the
it,
first
I'm
day.
sure some women out there that I'm looking for a husband. First day, you don't
Yeah, the
experience
first
that?
day. The first day. Like some people want a small wedding. Somebody don't want a wedding at all. They might have a small family. It depends on the person. Some people don't even have family. Like
Right now, I'm talking
at all.
about not the size of the wedding. I'm talking about actual
Once you
actual
start
couple getting married. Like
once you start dating,
when
once you start dating someone and you're talking to them about what you have in common, religion comes up, marriage comes up, children comes up. So you start speaking about that bond that lasts forever in the beginning.
Dropping hints it happens all the time, even amongst friends. People dropping hints about the things they want in their future. So, I mean, these conversations are always being held. We having one right now, actually.
Right.
now, realistically, how many people are really having these conversations? Because as you said, we're so hyper everything where we're in the Netflix and chill kind of mentality. So we've already slam dunked on the first night, and now how do we backtrack? So it's like for women, most women take that as we're in a relationship. For the men, no, you was just something, to do. Let's see if we can build, a relationship. How do you backtrack from that? At what point do we have this conversation? And we done already did the horizontal mambo.
Right. Marriage, it depends on how you define marriage. And you can be with someone for years, never get married, and have the same love for that person if you were married. So marriage is just what changed marriage is the government. Once the government stepped in, as far as you got to file your taxes together, you got to pay for a marriage license. So marriage is not the same as it used to be traditionally. I watched a TV show last night. Actually, you can go in India. They have marriage brokers where you go there, you fill out a profile like Facebook, and then they will assign you a wife. You meet their family for like an hour, and then you get married the next day. Because there's so many people in India, so they get married like that. So it depends on how you define marriage. Have you been married before?
No, I've been engaged.
Yes, I've been engaged.
I called it off like a few days before the wedding.
I've been married.
I'm like,
I've been married and divorced.
Yeah, but you know what? That was the best decision that I ever made. Like it cost a lot of money, but looking back, it would have cost me way more had I went through with getting married. And I tell a lot of people, people really came down, oh, that was wrong. You did this, you did that. And I kindly told them, well, you need to worry about why your husband is checking out this pink chick. You need to worry about why you and your husband are sleeping in separate rooms after being married for so long. For me, this was the right decision. Definitely. But I just don't think that people take the time to get to know each other. How long for women? And you guys being men, how long do real, I want you guys to just be on the real. Mm-hmm. How long should a woman stay in a relationship with a man and he has not asked her to marry him? How long? Before it's just like, okay, as a man, 9 times out of 10, your boy, he playing her. He ain't gonna marry her.
Right. Right. There's no time. There's no time frame. Life throws you curveballs all year round. You got to get financially stable. You got to make sure it's a lot of things that go into marriage. If they have children, if you have children together, if the job. So one thing can happen throughout the 12 months that can change that whole marriage thing. One thing, like losing a job, can change the whole idea of getting married. So it might prolong it a little bit. And then, of course, you have your ups and downs with possible cheating, it's all kind of stuff and being with somebody. But I want to ask you this. What is your definition of love?
Love is agreeing and accepting a person for who they are. Good, bad, ugly. When you wake up in the morning, your breath stinking, cock at it, all of this, your faults, your shortcomings. Accepting that, but not only accepting it, taking it on as yours, because once you get married and you love somebody, you am I am you. So we are together. So whatever you are, that's what I am. So I represent you, you represent me. Now, that's why I say a lot of people just get caught up in all this fra stuff. Oh, he looks so good. But what about when he's not looking good? Are you still going to be there? Now, me, I'm a little questionable. I know I'm a little questionable. That's why I'm single, because I don't know if I'm ready to hold you down. I just don't know. You got to be the right, because I don't know. I'm not at that place where I'm ready to hold somebody down.
It's a timeline, right? You might pass that timeline.
You know what? That's okay, because I got one that's going off to college. And this is my problem, my situation. I'm in a different place right now in my life, and a lot of men don't really understand that. I have a son. He's 18.
Okay.
He's on his way to college. So the whole dynamics of my life is changing, because now I have to get used to living without having to take care of children.
Right.
I need to see what that freedom feels like. I don't have to go to parent-teacher conferences. I don't have to spend my money on tuition. It's a lot of stuff that is going to be different. So it's like, man, like I'm starting another chapter in my life. And I know this. And I'm not ready to get it up. I'm not ready to come and answer to somebody, because I know my place in a relationship. And I'm not ready to do that. So if you met
someone this weekend over the holidays and you were dating, you don't see that going anywhere? You'll just take it step by step?
I would have to take it step by step, because again, I'm looking forward to embracing who am I without being a mother. I've been a mother for 18 years. That has been my primary, but a full-time custodian. I'm gonna claim this guy on my taxes as long as I can. you know,
Let's go.
not in the house though. It's gonna be
Right, it's gonna
different
be
because
different.
I'm not gonna have
A
to
lot
get up
different.
to take him to school, to go
Right.
to this, and this. So there are a lot of things that are changing for me personally. So I know that can I? Yeah, I could, but
Mhm.
do I want to? No, because I know that there's another side to this that I'm ready to experience, and it
Right.
would not be fair to bring somebody else into it because I'm ready to be selfish.
You might miss your blessing
How?
because you're being selfish, and you might meet that right guy, and he might try to give you what you're looking for, but you're not ready to take them steps. So
Okay.
you might miss your blessing.
Timing is everything, though.
You never
So,
know.
I mean, you said your son 18, just going to college.
He's
What, this
about to be
past
going to
fall?
college this next fall.
Next fall.
Hmm.
Oh man, enjoy yourself for a little while, and it's gonna find you. I mean, you're gonna
Right.
be all right.
Thank you, Tyree. Thank you.
It
Well, see,
ain't,
that's where I'm at. Well, I thank you all for joining me on this impromptu version of the J Spot on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. You all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Peace.
Yo.